Hello friends, family and other creatures of the sea, and welcome to a best of 3 from the most recent Korean StarCraft League number 27. In the bottom right here on New Humanity, playing for Twisted Minds, we have Classic. And in the top left as our red Zerg player, playing for DKZ Gaming, the Chinese team, we have a Dark. Alright, let's see what's going to be kicking up over here. So we have a quick block, or well, this is not a quick block, this is extremely fast. This is faster than quick. Uber quick. Although Ubers usually aren't that fast. Recently, well, not recently, but mainly in Europe, whenever I order Ubers, what ends up happening is that you find an Uber like 25 minutes away. They start driving towards you for like 7 minutes. And then 7 minutes in, they're like, yeah, you know what? I'll cancel this one. It's too far. This has happened multiple times and it's extremely frustrating. Well, whenever I'm in North America and the bigger cities especially, I order an Uber and boom, shows up within a minute and a half. You get a freaking bottle of water in there as well. Ask if you maybe want some chewing gum. And it's a different level, you know. European Ubers, not quite cutting it. If you're a European Uber driver and you want to explain to me why that is the case, please leave a comment down below. Because I'm very curious why European Ubers are so much worse than the North American ones. It's very, very frustrating. Also, in general, my experience with like taxis and stuff in Europe is like they just flake a lot. Like I feel like if I call a taxi, you should just show up in time. Very often they sound kind of insulted that I dare calling them. Ah, you want a cab? It's like, yeah, you're a cab company, aren't you? Like, well, no cabs today. Nice try. It's like, okay, maybe someone else you can refer to? No, no other cab companies in this area, sir. You're tough out of luck. I'm like, all right. I'll definitely be recommending you to my friends. Good lord. European cabs, there's something wrong with it. Maybe it's better in Britain. I know the Britain cabbies, they have like a code of honor or something. This, by the way, is a weird build. What the heck is this? Core before Nexus. This is what it was, because this Adept is way too fast. So it's gonna have a delayed second gas as well. Yeah, there we have it. This one that's hardly mining. Look how late his tech is going to be. 236 in-game, and there's still no tech out. That is extremely late. That is a non-normal timing. Adept's gonna get a couple of kills here on Lings. Almost gets a drone there, but not quite. Of course, not quite. These Lings running by, as there's no real unit in the wall here. That could be kind of frustrating. What are these Adepts doing? Some poor control on Classic's part as well. Speed is getting closer and closer to finishing. We have 10 more Lings on the way. That's from an inject, isn't it, those larvae? Yeah, I think it might have been. Or it was just saved larva. Now we have one Adept falling. This is going to be a Ling flood, actually. This is a pure and real Ling flood. Lings are still running around in the main base, having a good old time. As one more probe is gonna go down, and maybe one more. It's gonna be 3 probes in total here that will end up falling. Metabolic boost finishes up very soon. There's really no units. Both the Adepts have gone down. The Stalker's out of this game just ends. That's it. GG. Wow, what a stupid game. And it's also just one of the most dark-like games. Like, it's not just stupid, it just... it's like you look at that type of game, and you look at the early game there, and I don't think there's any other Zerg that would have Ling flooded. So we never would have figured out, you know? It's like, oh, I guess the Ling flood's pretty good against this particular opener, you know? Someone tries to go for core first. Because it's actually quite smart. I mean, still a risky build order, and there's no guarantee that this works every single time. But I like the thought if you know, just throw it in there every now and again. Because with core first, you delay your tech. Dark scouted with an Overlord, saw no Stargate. And Stargate is really good, of course, against any type of early Ling rush, because you're going to have an Oracle out. Oracle deals a crap ton of damage to Lings. Just clears them way too fast. Is that Dark look at that? I was like, okay, no Stargate. What happens if I just build a crap ton of Lings? He's also chrono boosting 2 Adepts, which probably means he wants to be aggressive with them. If I can clear one of these Adepts, or maybe even 2, and he has no Stargate behind it, will he even have enough DPS? And then, well, everything went right from there on out. I mean, he killed both the Adepts, Stalker was out of position, Classic didn't get the Scout, so... You're looking at a situation, like, this was the worst case scenario for Classic, like, by far, but even if it wouldn't have been the worst case scenario, you kind of wonder... Like, maybe this just as a general setup isn't so bad. Like, you can't do this every single game, but just mixing it in every now and again against the core first. Don't mind if I do. Don't mind if I do. Nexus before core this time around. Classic learning from his, well, not really his mistakes. He just decides to go for a different build order. It's like a never again. Hatchery has been blocked, and that means it's going to be built on the third base location. As this probe is happily chipping away at those mineral patches. Look at him go. Little idiot. I love the animation of the probe mining. It looks so pretty. Come on, start it again. Much better than the drones. You can see that drones are kind of dirty, you know? It's like they just gnaw at it with their teeth. There's like almost digging. You see like creep coming out of them. Like spitting onto the things. It's disgusting. The probe uses a complex process of like mind control onto the minerals and then teleport it straight into its mouth. Protoss players are just much more sophisticated. If there ever was going to be a race that invented the fork and the knife, it would be Protoss players. Zergs wouldn't even be like using their hands to eat. That is much too sophisticated for them. They just put their, you know, they have like a bowl of cereal and they just put their face in the bowl. They're just lapping it up like a dog. All Zerg players as well, don't forget. Whenever you're talking about StarCraft 2 players and their respective races, make sure to always have overgeneralizing statements. They like that when you do it. The Zergs love it. It's like the whitey Terrans. Alright, Depth moving forward here. One Adept is out. Second one didn't get Crown. It's just gonna chill at home. It's not gonna be too big of a deal here. Oracle is a follow-up. Yes, this Adept got one Ling kill. Finish it up, finish it up, finish it up. No, it's not gonna finish it up. Dark with a very poor routing on this drone. Rookie moves here. Loses a worker for free. That's kind of bad. Dark known to have legitimately the worst early game out of all the top Zergs. If all the top Zergs include Raynor, Cheryl, and Dark. You could put maybe Solar in there these days as well. And then Dark still would have the worst early game. It's because he seems to be unaware of the first Oracle timing. Which makes no sense because it happens every single game. It's just one of these things that is... It's a freaking miracle. Here we go. Yeah. I mean, this is... It is really unbelievable how bad such a good player can be at defending one Adept and an Oracle. The funny thing is that the main base is often even more vulnerable because his second queen is always too late and so is the Spore. It's almost like he can't count. It's absolutely ridiculous watching Dark deal with the Oracle Adept early game. It's not even the second Oracle. It's like legit the first Oracle and like one or two Adept. They're so difficult for him to deal with. Like, this guy is so much better than his opponents because he's always just down 12 workers compared to all other Zergs. And now he's just flooding a bunch of links across the map. If this Nexus doesn't get taken out, the game just ends. Like, just straight up ends over here. Because it's 28 workers to 43. There is no queen production anymore. There is, well, gas mining restarted. We have a Baneling nest, so it's going to be, okay, Queen Bane. There we go. Yeah, this is such a hard all-in, honestly. I just don't really see it work. Oracles are at home. It feels like Classic is uber aware as to what is going on. Dark is already transitioning into something else. He should shade with these. And he should wall behind this. What? Classic move, leaving the Adept at 6 HP to come back to finish it off later. I've never seen this one before. Double batteries now going down. There is a pylon still. The Baneling nest is not even close. Well, it's pretty close to being done, but then the Baneling still need to morph. Like, this is going to take a while. There's going to be 5 oracles by the time that this thing hits. The queens have now showed up as well. Another battery gets built. Classic is looking at this like, wait a second, you're still committing to this? I don't think you're supposed to, bud. I don't think you are. Second battery on the way. Would love to see a fort here so you can add in some cannons for more DPS. Classic is uber aware as to what is kicking off here. And don't forget, queens can't transfuse off creep right now. Here come the Banelings, want to connect with this pylon. They're gonna get a connection with the pylon, and as a result it dies. Oracle's having a good time. Should move a bit further towards the bottom so they can enjoy some of that beautiful healing from that battery in the natural. But I mean, yeah, you have 5 Oracles versus 5 Queens. Queens can transfuse each other, and batteries can heal Oracles. So this is pretty much Like par for the course. Oracle definitely should stay at home. This one with energy most definitely should. Hello, what's happening here? Can we... Yep, there we go. We get an activation on that one Oracle. 2 more Adepts also get morphed in. We're only on 2 gates still. So a bunch of probes are going to end up falling. We have more links moving across the map, which is weird because you know that these Oracles are going to regain their energy. It is simply impossible right now to kill this base. This is not just a dream. This is more than just a dream. This is like a dream inside a dream. That's how unrealistic it is. It's not just like, wow, I'm flying. It's like, I'm flying and there's lasers coming out of my nose. You know, that type of stuff. This is much more ridiculous. Yeah, GG gets called. 2 absolutely terrible games, but at least very action-packed as Classic ties up the series. We'll be going into our final map. Now, before we get truly into the 3rd game here, I would like to talk with you guys about the sponsor of this video, Raid Shadow. No, just kidding. I want to talk about the GSL. GSL Season 3 is coming up. It's going to have the highest level of competition, of course, in Korea. As there's 2 foreigners in there as well, out of 16 players. Australia and Scarlet both managed to qualify for the GSL, which is super cool. So, yeah, I'm looking forward to all of that. Now, I want to kind of ruin it for you all as well. Something that very often happens in the GSL, that's been bothering me for years now, is that the names are often swapped. Okay, I'm going to show you what I mean. There's a hotkey on the keyboard, Control X, that swaps the names. So right now, Dark is on the top side of the scoreboard, yet he's on the bottom of the map. This is extremely common in the GSL because they use custom graphics, which I don't think they have a hotkey for the swapping. So these graphics always remain in the same spot rather than just using the in-game graphics, right? This triggers the crap out of me. And now that I have told all of you, it's also going to trigger the crap out of you. This had no real purpose, but it definitely is going to ruin your day a little bit in the future every time you see it from now on out. And you'll be thinking of me, like good old Harstem ruined this for me. Yeah, I definitely did. What I hope to achieve with this is that eventually enough people get annoyed by it that GSL finds a solution to it. The game almost becomes unwatchable for me whenever it happens. I hate seeing Dark on the top side of the scoreboard, while Classic is on the top side of the map. How does that make any sense? Boom. I'll flip it back for you. Just like that. I'm a benevolent god. Ooh. 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 Ba-na-na-na. Da-da. He's gonna survive. It's not really much of an issue. Adept here, moving across the map. Or at least pretending to move across the map. No block out of Classic. Oh, because it was like a 14 hatch or something, or 15 hatch. I remember now. I remember seeing that during my little rant. Now, this is going to make matters much easier for Dark. So, okay, let me tell you what the standard is in this matchup. So, usually, a queen starts... Well, right now. That is actually the correct way of doing it. This is how all top Zergs do it. What Dark usually does is he drones up and then gets the queen on 42 out of 44, which is a very different approach most of the time. But this queen should be out in time if I'm not mistaken. And I am not mistaken. I'm never mistaken when it comes to this. This queen should be out in time. Yeah, even if this Oracle flies straight across the map, the queen pops out like 2 seconds before, so it's beautiful. Still going for that double spore as a spore in the main. Adding 2 more queens, 1 in the main, 1 in the natural. No queen yet on the 3rd base, which is also a little bit surprising. Classic still manages to pop in and kill 2 drones, which once again is a freaking miracle. Not quite sure how this happens, but whenever I see Dark play, he literally just always takes damage. There's a Phoenix out that's hunting for Overlords. Dark also one of the only players that consistently gets 2 Overlords, which means if you get a Phoenix or a Void Ray, you actually get some real bang for your buck. 4 Overlords now on the way, as 5 Overlords now on the way, as Dark is not just moving into a regular supply block. 6 Overlords on the way. This is a supply block for the aces. 7 Overlords in a row. My man just invested 700 minerals in supply, literally doubling his Overlord count. Actually, more than doubling. Because right now he's gonna have what? He's gonna have 11 and he added 7. Almost tripling his Overlord count there. In one swift move. You love to see it. More drones on the way right now. Obviously, this is not a very good start for Dark, who also hasn't started his Roach Warren yet. No Baneling Nest, no Roach Warren, no Evo Chamber, just a quick lair. Does get the Roach Warren finally right now. As this is going to be a Glaive Adept attack. If Roaches aren't out in time, you might die against a Glaive Adept attack. Now, that is a really low tier thing to do, dying to Glaive Adepts. It's one of these things that only happens in stories, you know? Grandpa tells you at night before you go to bed. Like, it's closer to a fairy tale than to a true retelling of what happened. But Glaive Adept attacks post 3 Stargate units, they don't really deal damage. Not even in Gramps time. No, it's not possible. Glaive Adepts simply suck. And these Adepts are gonna die, by the way. Quite some trouble. I could try lifting one with these with this Phoenix. Look at that. Poof. Lift it, lift it, lift it. Oh, not necessary. I was gonna try to do it. He's moving towards the bottom side. Dodges these lings like the absolute gangster that he is. Infestation Pit behind this. Double Evo Chambers. Dark completely giving up right now and pretending to be a normal Zerg player. He's just playing whatever he wants. He actually just doesn't care. Like, you talk with all these other Zerg players and they'll see something like this, like double Evo straight into Infestation Pit, 66 drones. Like, oh, my eco is too bad. How can you survive against X and Y and how do you do this? Dark just doesn't care. Theory doesn't apply to him. He lives outside of the book. These steps are dealing actually way more damage than they should, because this was a 66 drone stop. Should be very good against this particular strategy. 9 kills. I mean, you do lose 12 adepts as well, so it's not entire. 13 adepts have gone down already. Well, yeah, for my next trick, I'm going to teleport 1.5 meters. Just close your eyes for a second. Still gonna survive though. It's all good. Fort base now on the way. There's only 4 gases out currently. As melee and range upgrades. This is not a thing. I've never seen this in my life. Dark legitimately just does things. Now a Hydra then? I'm not even sure if he knows yet where he's going. You know how some people will say things like, it's not about the destination, it's about the journey. Like Dark, he took that, you know, to the extreme. He just doesn't have a destination. He'll just wake up and start walking in a direction. Whether that's the same direction he was going yesterday doesn't matter. He'll just swap per day. It's like a dice. Couple of dice. Pew, rolls them, sees where he goes. Seems good. Roaches, sure. Double Evo, why not? Glial Reconstitution at the same time as my Lurker then. Yeah, sounds fantastic. What is my opponent doing? Yeah, not that important. He's gonna scout the base count now. Sees that there's 4. Sees there's low gas as well. Adding 12 more drones. So it goes up to 85, if my counting is correct. It's very high on 4 bases. Main base should be running out soon. Yeah, we have these 2 patches with hardly anything left. I think we're gonna get some oversaturation on this base then, no? We're gonna need a 5th. Am I wrong? I don't think I am. Adrenal glands on the way. Melee about to finish up as well. Now the first 5 Hydras get produced. This Classic is just out on the map doing stuff. He's kind of running around. See if we can clear a couple more tumors here. If he can get those outside tumors, that would have been huge, but he doesn't quite get it. Prism on the way, 2 Templar, 11 Hydras. Muscular Augments as well. Adaptive Talents coming out. Still kind of low in gas. Right now going up to 7. Dark gets the scout of a lifetime. I'm not sure how this Ling managed to run in there, but sees everything. Or at least sees the Templar Archive. Didn't actually see the double forge, which would have been good info to have, let's face it. You know what's completely possible? Is that... Why did I open that? What is completely possible here is that at some point, Dark is going to have all of his upgrades for his Lurkers. He'll send out a Ling run by to a base, and then at the same time move out with a Lurker army and wins the game. That's like the most Dark way of winning this type of game. I think the way that Classic is playing is not bad, but he's gonna need Storm at some point or some type of follow-up deck. He's gonna run in here, try and deal some damage. Yeah, he's dealing some damage at least. These Zealots over here are also fighting. It's a trait. Not sure if this is the type of trait that the Classic really was looking for though. He lost 50 supply and killed a little bit as well. Took out a base. Gonna be up a base after this. Gonna continue pushing. What's the gate count actually? We're at 10. Needs to be real careful with this type of attack. I'm not a huge fan of blinking into lurkers usually. Double Immortals now get produced. 10 Zealots on the way. No Storm still. No Robo Bay. No carrier transition. So what do you know? Well, you don't know nothing. Pick up the Archon. No? Prism goes across the map instead. This is a very ballsy play. That is probably correct actually, unless you fly straight into a Spore right now. Which would make this move significantly worse than saving the Archon. Yeah. A counter-attack here would have actually been really cool to have. Yes, it forces the Zerg to move a little bit quicker into you. There's a decent lurker count here. Is it enough though? There's going to be 3 Archons showing up soon. I'd love to see a Zealot run by. I'd love to see a Zealot run by just being sent out across the map. Reinforcement's gonna come in the form of Lings and Hydras. Both of those suck against Zealot run bys. And these Zealots are well upgraded with 2-1. Here comes an attack as these lurkers most likely gonna get cleaned. You can cancel that. No, lift and cancel. Not even gonna be necessary. Good moves here. Real nice moves as Classic is going to clean this up. There's still a couple of roaches that are now moving towards the high ground. There's a lot of roaches here on the low ground as well. It means that these Immortals may be in some trouble. Pick up! Nice control! Oh, beautiful Immortal save there. That's what I'm talking about, Classic. That's what I'm talking about. At the same time, though, Lings and Hydras breaching the 4th base. There wasn't a whole lot of static. There was no Templar there for a cheeky little Storm as we get a Zealot warp in straight into the face of those Hydras. 3-2 getting closer and closer to finishing, and that's actually kind of a big deal, because in that case, Classic's gonna have nice armor on those units as well. Actually pretty nice against Hydras as well as against Lings. Gonna make those these Zealots just a little bit more tanky. 10 more lurkers on the way though. Seems to me like that is a real issue. As Dark just plays so free, it's like he doesn't really care. Like he just sends units into bases. He really plays like how people think Zerg is supposed to be played. And when you tell other people, it's like, why don't you just, kind of mass Ling, just send them everywhere? It's like, well, it's not possible. The Protoss defense well. I mean, Dark is just doing it every single game. He just runs in, kills walls, and destroys stuff, despite often a fairly poor early game. Wasn't necessarily the case this time around, but still. Absolutely impressive gameplay. Just pure Hydra Ling. Couple of lurkers in there for Banter. I think he threw down a Baneling nest. Caught that in the corner of my eye. My peripheral vision. Yeah, no Baneling speed yet though, but with +2 already done, Banelings of course are an absolutely invaluable tool in the Zerg army. The Baneling speed does start now. It's gonna provide the speed as well as 5 extra HP for those roly boys, making them much more well equipped to deal with Storm, for example. Also just with anything. Slow Banelings are kind of pathetic, no offense. If you're a slow Baneling, then life is not good. That is not good. This base is toast. This base looks like it's gonna be toast. I just love having these Banelings here in front. I'd actually prefer if you wouldn't send them in. Just kind of keeping them as like a tank against those Zealots. So when the Zealots try to run in, you have like, ta-da, Banelings, and everything explodes. Now the Lings need to come in to kind of do that tanking role. Yeah, Lurker's getting completely destroyed here. I don't think it's really going to matter though. Storm finishing up in 14 seconds, but in 14 seconds, I think this game is going to be over already as the Hydras are knocking on Classic's door. Well, natural dead main base is still somewhat alive, but there's just so much freaking Dark here and so little Classic. GG gets called, Dark wins. And this is the semifinals of the KSL number 27. And Dark, once again, a masterclass in Zerg versus Protoss. Thank you all so much for watching. I hope you did enjoy it. I for sure did. If you did as well, don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel. If you're an Uber driver, be sure to tell me all about it in the comments. If you have an uncle that is an Uber driver, that's still interesting as well. So please tell me all about it. And I'll see all of you next time for a new video. Thank you so much for watching, and bye-bye.